Next on the call, we have Southern University head football coach Dawson Odums. Again, his team victorious over Prairie View. Final score 62-59. They play at Valley 1 p.m. this Saturday. Coach Odums, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
If you could talk about your victory over Prairie View and preview your trip to Itabena this coming Saturday.
I tell you, this past Saturday was it was a game to be remembered. Defensively, I think the defensive coaches are scratching their heads, but when you're facing these spread offenses and no huddle, man, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to get off the field. It's a challenge to stop them. You can't sub. Your D linemen getting tired. I mean, it's mental warfare out there, and I just take my hat off, man, because I really think both teams fought all the way down to the end. Coach Height does a great job getting this team prepared, and I mean, it was one of those games where at halftime, we went into the locker room, we were down 28-13, I believe, and I just told the guys, man, you worked too hard. We haven't played our best yet. We still trying to figure out what kind of team we got, what kind of players we got, but we got to go out in the second half and compete. The ball go bounce our way, and, we was able to make a few plays, and it came down to the turnovers and penalties, which most football games do, and we were able to be on the plus side in those categories. We got out of here with a win, and we were very excited to get our first win of the season. We go down to Valley this week, and we're going to play against a football team that's very explosive, man. They have some playmakers. Their quarterbacks really give teams fit. They run around and scramble and really look to throw the football when they got somebody open and real good with their feet. So it's going to be a challenge trying to stay in front of them from a defensive perspective. And defenses, they always play, ever since I've been in the SWAC, they've been one of the better teams on defense. They do a great job of scheming and coming up with something that you haven't seen, and they guys do it very well. So it's going to be a challenge, but we got to get ready for it.
All right, the floor is now open for Dawson Odums, head football coach at Southern University.
Coach, it's Reed with the Advocate. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Y'all are down. You talked about y'all down 28-13 at the half. Dealing with some suspensions, a key injury to Virgil. It's easy to say keep your head in the game, keep fighting, but all these things going on. How did you manage to keep your team motivated? And that the goal is still there, and they can come back and win this game.
I think it don't start at that game. That starts with the off season and just. You have to have a philosophy, and our philosophy is no negativity around here. And you can see that on the sideline. And our players fed off of it. At halftime, some of the seniors and upperclassmen were saying, man, we worked too hard. We're not going to lose this football game. We're still in it. We're going to make a couple adjustments. We got to make some plays. But let's keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. That just sort of carried over to the second half.
In just over, a quarter and overtime, and a little, time of change in the third quarter. When Tillery, scored his run at the end of the third quarter, y'all put up 49 points from that point forward. Is that the type of offense that we can expect to see from Southern? And is that what you expect with all the weapons that y'all have and what you call the best quarterback in FCS Saturday night in Dre Joseph?
Well, I think we have a lot of talent on that side of the football. And if we start playing better on the other side, I really think it could make them even that much better. We have a great quarterback, and we have very good receivers. As a core, I think we're better than we were last year because we're a lot deeper. This guy's playing in that receiving core that you don't know about, but if they touch the ball, you can see a difference. Willie Quinn and Lee Dawson are two very good wide receivers that people are going to take notice of. But then we have some other guys, and you'll get a chance to see. We add another one to the mixture this week. So as we continue to go, I expect us to do nothing but get better on offense, defense, and special teams.
Coach, what I thought was one of the key plays in the game was, y'all got down 35-13 in the third, and on the ensuing kickoff, there's Willie Quinn making a play for you again, taking it back 65 yards or so. And putting you on position to score and make it a ball game again. You talk about him and, just what he brings, the energy level, and what that play meant to your team and believe that y'all can come back and win the game.
call him the Little John, man. He's the smallest guy on our football team, but probably has the biggest heart. Right at the halftime there, I mean, he had to get an IV. He was struggling, just cramping up, and he come right back out, and there he's going to make a big play. He's a big play kind of guy. We like to get the football in his hands. He's hard to get a hand on. He's real shifty and very elusive, but he still has some very good speed. So, he's a great football player. We just have to have him on our football team. We're looking for more interesting ways to get him the football.
How excited were you to have Tillery back and seeing what he can do with the 3 touchdowns to provide a balance for those guys outside?
Well, he's been there, man. I mean, like I said, the way the guy runs, man, he's a determined runner. I mean, he's determined in the classroom. He wants the highest GPA on the team. He's always competing. And I just know the kind of energy that having him back there creates. Our team look forward to seeing him back there. Our old line look forward to seeing him back there. He made some mistakes. He didn't hit some holes that were open. He missed some blocks in protection. But you got to say, he's been out of football for 3 weeks. But as we get him back and he continues to get better, we're going to only get better.
What does a win like this do to catapult y'all? You don't want to have a letdown, obviously, this week going into Ida Bena. And, what does a win like this do? Y'all were in this situation last year, 0-2, came back, won a few games in a row. Do you think that this is a win that could catapult y'all to, achieve the goals that y'all want to achieve for the season?
Well, it definitely makes it a lot easier coming to practice, after winning that game versus losing. Both teams poured their heart out. But, one thing I told these guys, man, a lot of players on this football team were here last year. And like I told them, I said, guys, I got this job on an 0-2 start. We know what we got to do. We just got to compete and play hard. As long as there's time on the clock, we got to believe we got a chance. And, it's just ironic that these guys played, man. The ball bounced our way. It could have went either way. We fumbled right there in overtime. It rolled right back to the quarterback. I went immediately to a prayer right then and there and said, thank you, Lord, because that could have ended the ball game. You lose 59-56, but the next play, Drake comes back, gets leaked off touchdown, and the rest is history. So just trying to get these guys to continue to believe, and that's most important, man. You can't go to a football game thinking you can just show up and beat anybody. You got to work hard throughout the week. We'll have a tough day today. It'll be like we 0-3, man. We got to keep pushing forward, and our guys can't get complacent because we understand we was 0-2. If we want to continue to have this feeling that we have today, we got to even work even harder to get to that next win.
Coach, talking to Coach Odums, he mentioned that in the last few years that this Mississippi Valley and Southern game has been tight. Looking back at last season and that game, a 6-0 loss, and of course, which led to Coach Missel's dismissal. Does your team, in some case, had this game highlighted or circled on the schedule? Or how much are they looking forward to playing a Valley based on the results of last season?
We don't really talk about the last season. When we talk about what's important now, they happen to be the team on our schedule. So of course they're circled right now because they're the team that we got to play. So we understand that, and we know if we don't go down there and play the kind of football that we capable of playing, we'll leave Villanova with a loss. They're a good football team. You look at them from got a chance to watch them on film against Alcorn, and you can see they got playmakers and they play really hard. So we got to be up for the challenge on the road. You're going into a hostile environment, so mentally you got to be locked in and focused in on achieving the task.
Coach, quickly on Dawson, can you talk about what he was able to do for you Saturday and what he means to your team?
I mean, I just respect him a lot. He walked into my office and, I told him, I said, I'll bench you for the first quarter of the next game, and he just smiled. But, he really wanted to do well. He made a mistake. He accepted his punishment, and, he's going to be greater forward. The kind of game he had, man, he has that kind of talent. It's just great to see, those two hook up, because before the season started, I really believe that they had a chance to be a 1-2 combination that everybody in the SWAC will be talking about.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to talking with you with your game after Valley on next week.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks a lot.